Previously on MCC.
Can you sin and not know?
Even if you're not a Christian, even if you're not been in church, I think the majority of people have been taught that you shouldn't have sex before marriage.
If it's not against the law anymore, is it still a sin to smoke marijuana? Because the Bible talks about us following the law of man as long as it doesn't directly interfere or directly go against the Bible. So was it just a sin because it was illegal?
Like I said, I don't know if it's a sin at all. I just know that as of right now, it's illegal.
What does the Bible say about being intoxicated?
I don't know if those are the same thing. Right?
If being high and being intoxicated is the same thing, that's what you don't know?
Yeah, I don't know if those are the same thing.
What would be the difference between being high and being intoxicated?
High on marijuana?
Being high. Marijuana,
Well,
heroin, cocaine.
Yeah, but they do different things and make you act different ways.
But you're still high. It doesn't, you talk about symptoms, but
right,
it's the same thing though. Because people act differently intoxicated also.
Right.
But the Bible doesn't talk about people who get intoxicated and want to fight, or people who get intoxicated and go to sleep, or people who get intoxicated or do whatever. It talks about being intoxicated or being drunk.
Right.
So what happens to you after you drunk is not the issue. The question is, what does the Bible say about a Christian and being intoxicated? What do you gather the Bible is saying about being drunk or intoxicated?
Don't do it. But again, far as
so what's the difference between being drunk or being high?
as far as I'm concerned, just semantics. I think it's the same.
I think before you said it helped you focus.
It can help, yeah.
So then it changed.
And it also alleviates pain. So we're not supposed to take medicine either.
That's what we were talking about, non-medical reasons. Now, if
that's we're talking about intoxication, because there are medicines that for pain that don't intoxicate you. They may make you drowsy, but they don't intoxicate you.
It's pretty much the same feeling, except maybe some, like you said, the drowsiness may be more pronounced. Again, I'm speaking from experience. I take pain medicine.
And I guess I hope you're not narrowing your vision to just how it affected you.
Well, and the people I know that I've been around who smoked, it didn't change the way they acted, or it didn't change the way that their thought process. It didn't make them do anything out of character, so to speak. It's basically a social event, or either a stress reliever. Like those people that I've seen that I've not necessarily been around, well, those two, but also have seen, because people display all type of stuff on social media these days. So
I've had different experience.
Yeah, I have. So what you're saying is that everybody you know, when they smoke, it doesn't change anything. They don't talk different. They don't laugh different. They don't eat more. They don't I'm pretty sure you think you acted the same too when you were smoking, but you didn't. But and I guess sometimes if you're around people enough who smoke enough, that may be how they always act, because they always high. You know, like I said, I used to hang around a lot of people who smoke, but I never smoked, so I wasn't high. But they didn't think they were behaving different, but I could see it. And so, you know, I don't know. I haven't. Everybody I know, and I said I knew a lot of people, grew up with a lot of people. That was kind of what they did. They all acted different. That, which again, I think the question was that, which was kind of the point of doing it. And you just said it about relieving stress or whatever. They feel different. The point is to be something different than what you are without it. The question was, can you sin and not know it? I don't know if we got an answer or not. Can you sin and not know it?
My answer is still no. Because whether you recognize it as sin or not, if it's wrong and I don't even think it's just as a Christian. I think as a human being, there's something innately telling you that it's wrong, even if you don't recognize it as a sin. So my answer is no.
My answer is no, because God won't allow you to not know. You're gonna know. He puts the Holy Spirit in us to know the difference between right and wrong. You may not know specifics, but when you know something is wrong, you do it anyway. That's sin.
I don't know.
Okay, good. It is a perplexing question.
Yeah, the conversation we just had kind of, I don't want to say confused me, but because we were,
make you think.
because I would think, no, you couldn't sin and not know it. But we were just talking about whether or not being intoxicated or being drunk or being or smoking marijuana, are those things sins? And some people may not know that they are if they're not legal or whatever, depending on the circumstance. So I feel like it's possible.
I haven't always answered the question yes. I do believe you can sin and not know it. That's what the Bible is for. I believe that's what the majority of the New Testament is for, is to educate and mature us. Because, and we're talking about some things that may be major in our minds that are sins, but there are some smaller things. For instance, there might be some things like the language we use, the stuff we watch, that originally we might not have thought anything was wrong with that. Now that we are Christians, we've learned that there are certain things that as a maturing believer, that not that we shouldn't watch, but the Lord doesn't want us to watch or want us to be a part of, or things that to participate in. I remember when I worked on a certain job, they used to do the football boards, which is gambling on the football game. And I remember I didn't gamble, but I participated as a part of the camaraderie at work. Well, I wouldn't do that now, because that's not what the Lord. I know that's not what the Lord wants me to do. And so when I did it then, that wasn't my mindset. But I was a Christian. I don't know if I had started preaching yet or not. I was on that job when I started preaching. But I know the Lord wants us to take a stand against the very appearance of evil and the appearance of sin, even if gambling may not be a sin. it could hurt or hinder my brother, and so, or that is fellow man, and so that means that the Lord doesn't want me to do it. And so I think we can be involved in stuff, can do stuff, and like I said, depending on how we raise. One of the things we answer our questions, and I think y'all did a good job at it. But we answer our questions with the slant on how we've been raised and our experiences. And all of y'all, fortunately, was raised in the church. There are some people out there who are being taught that some wrong things are right. And so I think there are some times when people can sin and not know it. But this is the problem or the real issue or even the blessing. That God doesn't hold us accountable for what we don't know. He does hold us accountable when we do know and won't do it. And so we don't have to worry about the stuff we don't know necessarily. Because I believe what David said is true. The Lord will bring you into a place of knowledge where you start understanding that some things are wrong and even some things are sin. And then we have a responsibility to do what we know we're supposed to do. And so we don't really have to spend a lot of time with what we don't know. But work on what we do know. And we'll be, I believe, we'll be pleasing in the sight of God.
So that's another episode of Millennial Christian Conversation. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions or anything that you would like us to discuss, or would like to be a part of any of our discussions with a topic or something that you disagreed on or agreed on, please contact us in the comments and let us know.